Hello, everybody. I'm Michael. I'm a product manager at 888. I'm very happy to be here, especially because today is a very special day. I guess this is a very, very moment of excitement. Everybody about 10 hours time is watching this. By the way, the iPhone 6 have just been announced, so I'm very excited. But this is not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about what we do at 888. So let's start from the beginning. Have a small brief of what we do at 888 and from where I came. So what 888 is doing are games. And these games are games which are played for real money. Meaning that, players come to play either Slotomania, which I like, or Candy Crush. They put money, they get fun. What we do is take your money, you get fun, but you may also win. And this example of the latest tablet or smartphone, which we'll see later on, how it works. This is our bingo client. It's fully HTML5. Now, you might see that and say, okay, that's a cool app, that's nice. But we've been a long way. We have worked very hard in order for the game to be like that. It's not easy, especially if you have developers that saying, we can't do that. It's impossible. HTML5, no can do. So I'm going to talk about several things, various things. And I think that the first thing you must understand is how these games are presented to the players. What are the players sitting back home seeing in order to install or use these kind of apps? I'll just
disconnected the sound.
Get it in. Don't worry, fella. I'll keep her entertained. I'm so excited. Get entertained at the UK's foxiest bingo sign. Right then. With a free prize every day. Bingo.com, where it's foxy time all the time.
This is what we do. We not only dance, but we actually write software. This is the kind of players we attract. They actually picture themselves and send it to us to get promotion. At that particular moment, you see a player that's using two actual machines to play simultaneously on two brands. We have many brands. So that's 888. A little bit about myself. So what do I do and how do I do? First of all, this is my desktop. My not virtual desktop. This is how I work. There's nothing around other than the computer. Nothing to distract me. Nothing. If I do my work, this is what I do. How do you think my virtual desktop look like? There you go. Nothing at all. I promise you, you can come now to my home. I'll open my Mac. This is what you're going to see. So basically, that was just a preview. The first thing I would like to talk about is this. My morning coffee. Or is it? When I think about product and how to create product, I always think of how to break the rules. Not in terms of the law, but the rules we create. Don't forget that we create the rules. All UI and UX are rules created by men. And if man has created them, we can break them, we can shift them, we can make them better. So when we are talking about UI and UX, there's lots of rules. Trust me, you can find books of how to create a good UI or UX. But I think that you have to do something once you have learned the rules. The rules are quite fun. They are good. You should follow them. But once you have learned them, just forget them. Ignore them. Because there's only one rule to rule them all. Trust me, this is how it's done. And it was written years ago by a very important person who said, Learn the rules so you can break them properly. You must trust your inner gut, your inner instincts, how to create user interface or user experience. You have to believe in that. I know it's a cliche, but each day you wake up, either as a product manager, either as a designer, this is what you have to think. Because nobody was asking for the iPhone, but he did it. He brought the iPhone. Everybody was using Nokia, was using maybe Trios. So what you need to do, once you think about your application, is just surprise. Make the experience exciting. Make a story. Make something that will make the player feel happy. In our field, it's happy. So you have probably been taught that in order to make a good user interface, you have to ask people, what do you think? That's fine. But before that, do what you think. Don't ask. First do, then show, then course correction. Now that was the first thing I wanted to talk about. And there's another thing we all love to do. Now, are there any vegans here? I heard there's vegans. Well, there were. I was remembering somebody asked Oded, is there any vegan? Okay, that's fine, you know. Everybody likes that. Either vegan, made of soy, made of meat, made of whatever. There's one place this should not be displayed. None. And this is here. Trust me, guys, this is painful. Putting the hamburger menu, you know what's the hamburger menu, right? The 3 lines. At the top, trust me, if you have a Samsung Note, you need your leg in order to press that. So I couldn't find any better slide that explained how painful that is for players using a smartphone to reach to the top. Now, you know, this is what might happen. You don't want your players to go that way. Smartphones are single-handed devices. And this is what you do. And don't forget, these guys are getting bigger all the time. And even bigger. So, your player should hold the device in one hand. If that's a smartphone, it's easier to use. If you see kids, this is all they use it. Your thumb doesn't reach more of that height. For example, we have the iPhone 5S and we've got the Samsung S4. So your controls should always be at the at the bottom of where your thumb might reach. So I don't know where you read, where you saw, where you have copied from. This does not work. You don't do that. You do something else. You innovate. Maybe like those guys, having a single-handed mode on a very big screen. And this is exactly what we did. This is our smartphone version. As you can see, at the bottom, we have all important navigation. Our players want to run from home to bingo to games, and this is where we have placed it. So players may navigate easily only with the thumb. Now that's a rule you should follow. You can break it. I don't know what will happen. So, coming to the end of that section, all important navigation should happen at the bottom. This is where you place your most important navigation. Now, trust me, we have top navigations, but they are less important than the bottom one. Number 3. Number 3 is a good one. Let's talk about rice. I'm happy you all ate, so you're not running away. Try to eat. But, you know, rice is very important. You know, it's being grown, being cooked, and can be served like that. That's fine. That's okay. That's rice. It's a meal. You can eat it. You might stop being hungry after you eat that. But if you'll show this kind of rice, it's going to be a total different story. So it really depends what you do with the pixels. Everybody can create pixels. It really depends what you do with them. And there's only one person, if you're a product manager, a UX designer, one person who can decide how and where to place the pixels. And this is the graphic designer. This is the only person that can decide. Fortunately, I have this graphic designer here, which is Yuda, raise your hand, who helped me design the whole application. Later on, you can ask him questions. But this is the only person that says how to run the lights off, how to run the shadows, because the eye can see anything. And if your pixels are not on the correct position, with not the correct relation, you lose the player. Another thing is important is telling a joke, which if you'll have to explain is not funny. The same for UI. If you'll have to explain somebody, if you give somebody your UI, and he's asking, what is that? It's not working. We're not working either. Sorry, flip the device. So a UI is like a joke. If you need to explain it, it doesn't work. UI should be simplified, easy to understand by all people, all level, all players on all ages. There you go. So the third thing is this. Your players, your users, you have to understand who they are. For example, most of our players are women. They play in front of the TV. They have a TV open, and they're playing on their mobile. So this is exactly how we test our features. No feature, none, was approved unless I was sitting back home, TV open, and the actual mock-up in front of my face. This is how you approach. This is what you do. If your device is being played on train stations or in the bus, this is how you test it. Tablets are held like this. And this is how you test your devices. Tablets are held landscaped. You know that many of you probably read that book. That's fine. That's good. You know. The problem is that your players did not read that book. And they do care about their cheese. Don't move it. Don't make a fuss. Don't make too much movement. For example, I have this example of all iOS history. Now, if you'll examine the icons that comes with them, this is what you see. A very low profile, easy, changeable icon shape. It's not made instantly by night. And this is what we did. This is our first version. Well, it's okay. It's not ugly, but it's cool. And what we did, when we came with a new version, we stayed with the positioning of the control. We did not move them. We just lay another nice layer on top of them. So I know I got only maybe 2 minutes. I got more slides, but how does that fit into your Zen garden? First of all, ask question. Why? Second, listen to your customer, but be advised, they will not tell you what's the great product you're going to have. They're going to tell you how to course correction. Second, be precise. Don't miss any pixel or any word. Be focused. If you're doing something, do it right. Don't do halfway. Halfway doesn't work. Your players will not like it. They'll abandon you. If you're doing something, do it after it's really working. Don't be afraid of jumping to the next step. That's fine. You'll get managed. And start somewhere. Everybody start somewhere. It's fine. That's cool. Another rule. I'm going fast now. You know, if you'll stay and think too much of what to do, you'll do nothing. So think, analyze, and act. Love your customers. Love your users. They bring you money. Really 2 or more 3 last slides. I promise you that the iPhone 6, the 7-inch, this 5-inch will wait for you. Now, I was testing user experience. You know, I want to do a great user experience. The problem is that I know how technology works. And no, that cannot be done. No, that's a mobile. That's HTML5. No, look. Customer experience is made of those terms. But when you start designing, forget what you have learned and start with this. Start with what you want to do. Then go back how to implement that. Don't start with, no, it cannot be done. But when you start designing, don't use any tool. Take a pen, take a paper. This is how you design your mock-ups. This is what actually happened later on. So why should you start with that? Because whatever tool you are using, no matter if it's a Visio, whatever you have at the office, your mind can translate only by having a pen in your hand. Thank you very much.